Okay, all right, we're rolling now. Okay, all right, so it's Micah, Victor, Adrian here with Cop That Stock. It's early in November, so, and President Trump is contesting the election, rightfully so.
Okay, don't start with this, man.
What?
Like, we're talking about the vaccine today. I know you can talk about the vaccine.
And Pfizer and BioNTech have announced 90% effectiveness in their trial, which was provided by Operation Warp Speed, by the way, brilliantly by my beautiful, handsome president.
Okay, you're Canadian.
Okay, well, Donald J. Trump, which, if you count all the voters who voted legally in Michigan, is a 2-term president. Okay? Get used to it. We're talking about vaccine plays today. Broadly speaking, should you dump Amazon for Carnival? Do you load up on energy and airliners, or do you trade Moderna and Novavax? Or finally, do you short the entire market because it's run up too quickly? Now, my lifetime hero and inspiration, James Cramer, once said, quote, trade both the recovery stocks and the COVID winners, unquote. Nah. Why trade both when one will quickly outperform the other?
Well,
Jim Cramer also once said, quote, I'm not an epidemiologist, unquote. So we've decided we're going to bring on our very own epidemiologist onto our show as our very first, it's exciting, guest host. Our very first guest host on Cop That Stock. So he's going to help us make financial decisions surrounding the BS pandemic. So we're going to get into it. You asked me how to get rich. I just want to make some tendies.
oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're not actually bringing on a real epidemiologist. We're bringing on Micah's friend from undergrad, who took an epidemiology class once. Also, he has no financial training of any kind. All right, cut for music. I'm going to Skype in our guest host.
Okay. Are you using WebEx or Zoom?
Teams.
Teams. No, we use Zoom. I bought the dip after the vaccine news earlier this week, so make sure you're using Zoom.
Okay.
Support
All right, folks. We're joined by on Zoom, which, by the way, is selling at 500 times earnings. Is an epidemiologist currently working at Foot Locker while he looks for permanent pay. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on the show.
Good. So tell us about this vaccine. Is it time to start buying some more AMC weeklies?
Yeah, so I don't really know too much about stocks or anything, since I have no money and I'm working at Foot Locker. But what I can tell you is that Pfizer's vaccine is 90% effective, which means that the company can estimate based on its trial that 90% of people getting the vaccine will have some immunity to the disease.
Mm-hmm. And stocks went up. Okay. SPY opens at 365. The Russell to the moon. Okay, to the moon. My Suncor stock gained 20% that day. Boomer stocks for the win. I have bought calls on CCL, Exxon, and the Russell for November next year. All 50% out of the money, and I think you should do the same.
Sorry, what do you mean by estimate?
Yeah, so a randomized trial is different than the data you'd see from the real world. The trial has significantly less data, like 94 cases, versus the millions of active cases you'll see in the general public over the next few years. So like if 100,000 people are vaccinated, theoretically you might see 90,000 of them never get COVID if they're all exposed, maybe more or less. But then you have to factor real world factors like those who can't get vaccinated, or who do get vaccinated but get a strain of COVID that's different, or have genetic or demographic makeup from the trial population that isn't exactly represented by the study population.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is this pandemic is far from over.
Well, yeah, you have to think about distribution, storage, who gets it first. The vaccine has to be stored at 75 Celsius. Do you even have a freezer, that can do that?
Well, you know what I'm hearing. Bear fucking pride is what I'm hearing. Bear erotica. Oh, the vaccine may only work on 90% of the 70% of people who take it. You know what that is? That's still 50%.
Actually, that's 63%.
Yeah, it's exactly 60%. That's still herd immunity. COVID long gone. Okay, long cyclicals.
I mean, the pandemic is far from over. We're probably far off from herd immunity. Maybe even with the vaccine, just given the logistics. Cases are still spiking for the second wave, and they will likely peak well before any vaccine arrives.
Well, okay, what does this mean about a second wave of potential lockdowns?
Priced in.
Well, certain governments have set a threshold based on cases per million or 100,000 to start a lockdown of positivity percentage, and certain states like New York are getting closer. You can also pay attention to Rho, which is the reproductive factor. If it's above 1, the virus is spreading, which it is. It's basically everywhere.
Priced in. Okay. The only row I'll be doing is my fucking boat. All right, when I'm busy buying what y'all are panic fucking selling.
I think it's pretty inevitable that there's going to be some sort of second wave everywhere. Lockdowns can at least control how bad that will be.
Okay. So you agree with Sleepy Joe Biden that we should destroy the economy, subject people to poverty, and promote communism to North America. That's really nice.
Wait, aren't you guys supposed to be friends?
All I'm saying is if hospitals are overburdened, likely government will choose to shut it down.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, what I'm hearing is calls on tech.
Honestly, I can't understand why you wouldn't just diversify and have a healthy portfolio of both.
Because one has to outperform the other. All right? Okay. COVID goes away, you sell tech, buy cyclicals. COVID, here to stay, we short cyclicals and buy tech. All right? Why would I bring on this asshole if he couldn't tell me what's going to happen next?
Okay, yeah, I get it. Tell you what, man, COVID isn't going away.
Okay, there we go. Puts on carnival, calls on shop on the dip.
Until maybe it does.
Okay, what? How can it be both ways, man? Get your story straight. Get the facts straight. Okay, why are treasuries up if the interest rates are supposed to stay low for the rest of the pandemic? How can tech sell off on the best news all year if it isn't actually happening? How can we be going through another wave when they've announced a vaccine from Operation Warp Speed?
Because markets aren't rational.
Okay, excuse me. Okay. You know what? Puts on the larger economy to hedge. I'm shorting the fucking Russell Index right now.
Dude, is your strategy just buy and short everything?
Why did you fucking...
Jesus Christ, what a spaz.
Yeah, you see the shit I'm dealing with?
So, did you get in on any of the developer stocks earlier this year? Heard Vaxxer is worth 1,000% this year.
Yeah, man, we actually had a whole segment on that.
Before we get to that, I just want to say it's important to wear a mask.
Wear a mask. Wear a mask. Why do you gotta make everything political, man?
I mean, you wouldn't go raw dog on a random person you just met. So keep a Trojan in your pocket and a mask on your face.
Okay, fuck that. I never wear domers or masks. Okay, they're uncomfortable, and scientists say they don't even work. Last week, I went to a bar downtown and made a statement by hooking up with a girl who lives in Kensington. All right, add the girls I met on Hinge this year, and my kill count is looking pretty good. The best kill count, actually. No domers, no mask required. Long on Match stock, Match.com stock, and long CHD. Okay, well, we wanted to ask about the vaccine stocks because Novavax started this year at $4 a share and is now close to $80. It's high, $200. Moderna, which may have come in second, started at $20 and is also at $80. Sounds like a lot of cash. We don't even have to read out the Wall Street bets of the world here.
Yeah, so multiple companies will likely provide national stockpiles with their own vaccine. It isn't just like Pfizer is going to make them all. Right now you have Moderna and Pfizer using mRNA technology that's different from the traditional live virus you see.
Okay. No one gives a shit about the science, right? We just want to know how to get rich.
Christ.
Right. So J&J, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Moderna, and Novavax are the first 5 non-Chinese companies to enter phase 3 trials.
Okay, well, we can agree there. Fuck China, okay? But that sounds like a lot of boomer stocks. What about INO or Sorrento or Vaxart? Novavax and Moderna clearly have had their runs already. Was there any room for random-ass penny stocks to get...
I mean, there's like 300 clinical trials for this right now. So you never really know if one of the 2 of those might become important.
Okay, well, here's hoping that there's another health crisis so we don't miss the ship on the next Novavax. All right? I'm talking hype penny stock, buy for $5, sell for $50 level Tendies. I'm talking hype penny stock, buy for $5, sell for $50 level of Tendies if the corona decides to mutate. Leaps on each of Vaxart, VBO, IMV, LMNOP pharmaceuticals. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I think we're done with that then. All right. Thanks for joining us, even though you're completely wrong about most things, including the lockdowns. That's our show for today. We're gonna have callers again next week, and this time we're gonna screen them. We're gonna be screening the callers from now on.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. All right. Well,
Thanks.
that's over. Hopefully you can get the edit out soon.